So say that again.
Okay, well, I work in the public services industry, so for me this might be risky doing these interviews, doing my website, my YouTube channel, because not everybody is accepting when you're being interviewed for a job. They look you up on YouTube, they look up your Facebook profile, what's on there, they look up if you're affiliated with any websites, any YouTube channels, anything like that. And I'm out there. I'm an open public personality on YouTube, on Facebook, on my website. So, and I work in public services. So, if I'm interviewed for a job and that comes up, and if they ask me, I'm gonna say this is my hobby, this is who I am, and this is what I do. You either accept me or you don't.
Right.
And so this is...
And someday who we are won't be our hobbies anymore.
No, it'll be just our normal everyday life.
Right. And it'll be a great and joyous day.
Yeah.
And we're getting there very, very quickly, I think, because a lot of people
are
are coming to the same realization that you're come to. That's what happened to me. In my situation, it was, for personal reasons, nothing against the company I was working for, but it was incompatible, and I had to leave. Because it's not what they were doing to me, it was what the environment was doing to me that they were part of, maybe not so willingly, I don't know, I can't pass a judgment on that, but us going to our truth now is a huge calling. It's happening everywhere.
It is, and I work in the information industry and the public services, so not everybody is accepting. Some might be open-minded, and I don't bring this stuff to work. I don't tell people that I'm ET contactee at work, or that I was abducted when I was young. I don't really talk about it at work, because the work, when I'm at work, that's work. What I do outside of work, that's my own private business. So what if I'm out in the public? It's a risk for me coming out like this, but I think it's well worth it.
Right.
Because it's time. It's time for change.
Right. And I think most people know that, if you're doing your job, that other stuff is maybe not so relevant. As long as it's not interfering with your work.
Yeah, it's not. I don't openly talk about that stuff at work, because I understand I'm working with 3D energy. That when you're working, you must look normal and sound normal and be normal, which is what you should be at your job, because it's a third dimensional job. But outside of that job, I'm me, and I'm in the 4th D and higher dimensions, so I can't really stick to that 3D model anymore.
Right.
I'm beyond that 3D model. So I do what's acceptable at work, and outside of work, I am myself fully in everything that I do.
Right.
In my work as a higher dimensional being here on Earth.
So you said something interesting. You said abductee.
Yes.
So can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I was abducted from the age of 2 to 10 by the Drazo reptilians, which are the original reptilians from the Orion system. The adjunct of those is the Draco reptilians, the second subspecies.
So what was the first term?
Drazo.
Drazo and
Black Armada.
And what was the other one?
The Dracos, the white reptilians.
Okay, Draco and Drazo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drazo are the original ones, the black reptilians. Black, they're literally black. And the subset of those is the Dracos.
Okay.
The white Dracos, there's green ones, there's yellow ones, there's a few of them. It's not just one reptilian species. Right. It's about up to 10 of them.
Okay.
But they all came from the Drazo reptilians, from the Black Armada and the Orion system. Okay. Their queen is still alive. Her name is Nihalia. That information was recently given to me. So, and they had Black Armada ships that were around here from 2000 to 2010. They wanted to take over the planet fully, like physically take over, but they were stopped. And they're really great geneticists. They can alter the genetic codes of humans, and they were part of the 22 species who altered the genetic codes of what we are now as a species on this planet. Okay. So it goes back more than 5,000 years. It goes back more like 20 million years. They say that Draco came here 5,000 years, but no, they've been here longer than that, for millions of years. And I recently did a video, actually, on the 3 abductors who abducted me from the age of 2 to 10. This started in Russia and went all the way to Israel, and even here to Canada.
So your family went from Ukraine?
Yes.
To Israel?
To
the U.S.?
Canada.
To Canada.
Canada,
Okay, Canada.
not the U.S.,
right.
no. So over the span of like 9 years, I was abducted. And I would wake up with nightmares screaming about black people abducting me, like these black shadowy figures abducting me. And my memory was erased of all of this. I was taken to what I believe is bases in the U.S., underground bases. That's where the reptilians were doing their genetic experiments on me. So it was the Drazo, it was subset Draco, and also this guy who's very tall, like maybe 14 feet tall. I call him the Gray Harvester Being. He was really tall, very thin-looking man with a long beard and long hair, like gray, black, and red hair. So, and he was the observer watching all of these genetic experiments happening. And they stopped my spiritual growth, basically, from evolving. It's like a stunt in growth, in evolution. They stopped my evolution. And I guess they did it at a young age when you're still vulnerable as a child. You're very susceptible to the genetic manipulation, memory.
Right. You have a lot of abilities that haven't been quashed by the environment.
No. Yeah. I started studying shamanism and magic to basically get those abilities back.
Right.
I had to do that to get it all back and to get the memories back. So, and I recently posted a video of these 3 abductors that I remember. It took me some time to get the Gray Harvester guy right, to get his features right. So it's now up on the YouTube channel.
When did you post that?
I posted this about 4 days ago.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So it's up on the site.
Okay.
What I remember I post.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting. It's been an interesting lifetime, that's for sure. And it's still going. It's still going strong. So
what do you see happening for us, like over the next several months? How does that look like to you?
Well, that's interesting that you asked this question, because today I just went on the net to see what's going on with full disclosure, and everywhere on the net it says that Obama will be doing full disclosure. That UFOs are real, that ETs have been visiting us for thousands of years, maybe to some extent about the advanced tech, who knows. And then when I look at the phone, when I was looking at the internet stuff, 11:11 came up. It was exactly 11:11 a.m. BC time. So I'm like, oh, so that might happen. That reality might happen, because 11:11 is about revealing the truth, about timelines changing.
Right, and synchronicities.
Synchronicity, huge change coming. So I'm like, this is all the pieces are starting to come together. There's all this stuff about Hillary Clinton and what mess she made with the email server.
Yeah, and the Clinton Foundation.
Yeah. It's all coming out, and that the FBI are not going to indict her, and then this other attorney, Trey something, is going to, made a public hearing and really went after the FBI director. It was a public hearing, and it's now on YouTube. And it was like putting this guy on the spot, putting Comey on the spot, the FBI director, that he's covering up for Hillary. It's amazing what's being out in the public, the information. It's disclosure of the political system, how corrupt it is.
Yeah, I've been following this guy, Og Tellis. Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with him?
No.
Yeah, he's apparently a survivor of one of these mind control programs. I don't think it's a secret space program, but
MK Ultra? Or something like that?
Something like that. I haven't had time to really research it or look into it, because it's been such a whirlwind for me lately, but he's been disclosing some stuff that's just amazing. He'll put something out in a raw form, and then within a day or so, you'll see these news sites and people who are actually journalists picking up his raw information and then generating these articles that are at that same level that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Stuff that you, like 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, you would never see on Facebook or any place like that.
Well, I mean, the cabal can't censor the truth anymore. The planet is changing. The people's rhetoric is changing, literally. People want justice and the truth. So what the mass consciousness is doing is asking for the justice and the truth. And it's coming out. It's all leaking out. It's like a leaking sieve. It's all on YouTube. It's on the alternative media sources, Facebook, TV. It's It's all coming out. You can't hide secrets under the rug for long.
It can't be contained anymore.
No, it can't. The skeletons are coming out of the closet. The truth is being revealed, whether it's about UFOs, disclosure, all kinds of disclosure coming out. Even that the political system is corrupt. That's progress in my book. It's progress that it's coming out, and it's general info that Hillary Clinton was using a private server that she wasn't supposed to be doing.
Yeah, and the information that came from OG that I thought was interesting was that if they really stopped investigating that and put their emphasis on the Clinton Foundation, then the whole government goes. That was the contention there, that they said the Clinton Foundation is really the smoking gun here. That's the one arm of the octopus that exposes the whole octopus. So to speak.
Exactly, because the Clinton Foundation has accepted money from foreign countries and governments, and that money is supposed to be going to help people, and it went to the Clintons.
Yeah.
So it's
tied into all the child molestation and all that.
Well, I don't know about the child molestation. I've been following the funneling of the money trail, so to speak.
Yeah.
That she made all these agreements with foreign governments and accepted bribes and stuff.
Yeah.
And that they took a lot of money from speaking fees that they shouldn't have. That should have gone to the foundation and went to them privately instead. So it's a whole mess, a slew of things that they've done over the years.
Right.
And
so you think over the next several months that whole trend is going to continue? It's going to keep uncovering more and more stuff, you think?
I personally don't know what to think anymore, because so much is happening. And but I would hope the trend continues. I can't personally make an opinion of this.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think, because it's a circus.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
No, I know. I always ask that question because, people, for good reason, are a little phobic about making predictions and whatnot. But a lot of us will have like a general feeling of like, which way is the wind blowing, and what do you see. We don't have to be right about it.
Yeah.
But we can have a general kind of feeling for.
Well, I get a feeling that full disclosure is on its way. It's very popular. It's everywhere. Fox News is talking about UFOs. Everybody's talking about what Clinton is going to disclose.
Yeah, NASA keeps putting stuff out.
Oh yeah, there's water on Mars. There's air on Mars. There's blue sky on Mars. They're slowly saying, there's 1,200 or 1,500 exoplanets that could be habitable in the habitable zones. It's like disclosure is happening. NASA is a front for the secret space program. So they're disclosing to us simple things that we can understand. Mm-hmm. But there's more. There's the advanced stuff. The secret space program, they've gone beyond the solar system. Yeah. They've traveled out and they have colonies all over.
Right.
So it's about the truth coming out.
So a lot of what you've seen is complies with the information that Corey Good's been putting out.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, very much.
And you've had some contact with him, you think, in the past. Is any of that fleshed out for you?
It's bits and pieces of memory. It's like it's still in shadow for that memory. But the secret space program, the commonalities are there because I did 16 back years in the secret space program.
16?
60.
60.
60.
And that started when you were a child?
That started when I was about 15.
Okay.
I would say.
And you were in Canada by then?
Yes, I was in Canada about that time. I didn't remember anything when I was 15 about the secret space program. These memories are a year and a half old. I've started remembering all the secret space program stuff.
Okay, so it's relatively recent then.
It's relatively fresh for me, remembering it and all the aspects. I mean, recently I did another video about the LOC, Lunar Operations Command, what that looks like.
Right.
I finally remembered what the surface architecture of that building looks like. The LOC, man. It's amazing, and it's like it's a domed shaped building with glass, and it's amazing material. It's non-destructible, and it lasts for hundreds of years.
It's like the aluminum alloy that Corey talks about, where they can make it translucent or not.
Yes,
They can change it.
I don't believe it's aluminum, though. It's something else. It's not cement, that's for sure.
Some type of metallic.
Yeah, metallic and some type of structure, like almost feels like sand, but not so much. Something very interesting. It's a texture of things, different materials. Because on the moon, you can't use cement. That degrades quickly. So it has to be non-destructive, long-lasting material, durable, and recyclable as well. Because they reuse a lot of their materials on the moon. You know, clean water source, it's all filtered and reused. And they have some dome cities, actually, that are pretty tall. They're like these biomes made of metal. It's quite interesting. So that's all in the new presentation.
Cool.
It's just memories coming back.
So you were telling me earlier that you can't travel, like you can't go to the United States, but we did talk about if in the event at some point maybe Guyam wanted to do something with you, you might be willing to do something with them.
Yeah, I have hemiplegic migraines with paralysis and a lot of food sensitivities, so it's hard for me to find food I can eat without having a paralysis attack, which is equal to a stroke, a temporary feeling of a stroke. So I can't get on a plane. I don't drive anymore. I don't take the bus. So for me, it's hard to get around.
Yeah.
This was good to come to you for the interview. It's 10 minutes from my house. So I caught a ride out here, but I can't even leave the country. If Guyam called and said, hey, come on over, I'd consider that, because that's pretty cool. Guyam is awesome. They're doing a lot of wonderful
You have a subscription and you watch their shows? And
I don't have a subscription.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh.
I have a friend who had a subscription and taped a lot of these shows.
Oh, okay. All right.
Through the friend, I was able to watch up to season 4.
Okay.
Of Corey Good's Cosmic Disclosure. Now I'm just reading about it.
Okay, yeah, because they have the transcripts.
Yes,
yeah.
Right. So I'm reading it, and all the images are up there too. So I'm just reading it, which feels the same to me.
Yeah, they do a good job with that.
They do.
Yeah.
Corey is amazing. He does a good job.
Yeah.
The site is amazing. Sphere Being Alliance.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And the work that the producers, a guy I'm done with David, I think has been really good too, because a lot of the stuff that David's been putting out is getting better. The quality keeps improving.
He's getting better at the public persona. He's good at it. He's being more charismatic, more real. I think the reality is sinking in for him as well. Yeah. And for Corey's become more charismatic and come out of his shell.
Yeah, he changed his diet.
Yeah. It's high vibrational diet. I'm on a high vibrational diet.
Right.
I only eat turkey. That's the free range turkey, organic turkey. That's all the meat that I ever eat. Yeah. And mostly the rest is salads and fruit. No carbs. I don't eat carbs anymore. And I've lost like about 15 pounds. Wow. I'm healthy.
You feel better?
I feel much better because I have thyroid issues as well, and migraines and the paralysis. It's a bunch of things. Yeah. I mean, I went as far as getting a hysterectomy just so I could function properly. Because before I could hardly get out of bed and go to work. Yeah. So for me, it was about totally changing my lifestyle.